I've used both Mac and PC for my design career over the past 10 years, primarily Mac. I moved to PC a couple of years ago when I decided I wanted to work from home, which this is obviously not my home, and I wanted to play some video games on a powerful PC. I used to have a Mac, then I moved to that PC, and then I moved back to Mac when I moved into this office because I find that using Mac is just more productive. Recently, Apple released their new M1 MacBook Pro and also the M1 Mac Mini, and it's been a game changer for a lot of people. You've probably seen all the reviews, people ranting about how good the processor is and how much better the experience is, but what is it really like for a designer? This video is brought to you by Squarespace. If you don't know who I am, I'm Will Patterson. I'm a brand identity designer. I make YouTube videos on this channel talking about the business of design, talking about how to do designs as well and just run a creative company. No. And I'm a complete computer nerd. I love getting new computers. So far, I've got a computer at home, which is a PC I play games on. I've got my iMac from last year, which is very nice. It cost a pretty penny, but it's worth it. Until I found this Mac. This is the M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch base model with 8 gigs of RAM. Today I'm going to be showing you whether it's worth getting this new MacBook Pro if you're a designer, to see if there's any shortcomings or anything else when purchasing this. So the design of the MacBook is just the same, quite disappointingly. You'd think that Apple would come up with a new design, a refresh for a MacBook like this, but this just leads me to think that they'll be refreshing the design very soon of the Mac lineup. They've got the nice new and improved or kind of old style keycaps and keys. The touch bar is useless, but sometimes fun to play with when you want to put an emoji down. Everything good about a Mac is inside of here. But if you don't know, the main difference is the M1 chip. They have moved from Intel to creating their own silicon, and that means that we're going to be seeing improvements of performance. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Apple have chips, the processing units, and inside their phones they create their own chips, so they design their silicon, and that's why everything is so fast. So now that Apple have moved from Intel using their chips, their processors, into using their own, it means that they can get more efficiency and more power into their own devices because they create the software and the hardware. But is it really that powerful? Yes, I would answer it as yes. When I first started using the MacBook, I was kind of scared that it would just be like every other time that I've bought a MacBook for traveling. I was scared that when I put it on my lap and I was using Chrome, it would just basically bake my legs. It would fry them. It would be so hot doing the simplest of tasks. But no, it's actually stone cold. When I use this, it just remains cold, and the heat that I feel from underneath is from my leg. It's not actually from the computer. Now, Apple did bring out 3 models of the M1 Mac, which is the M1 Mac Mini, the MacBook Pro, and the MacBook Air. The difference between the MacBook Pro and the Air is basically the fan. The fan inside of the MacBook Pro allows the processor to work that little bit harder, whereas in the MacBook Air, it will not work as hard because it doesn't want to get so hot. But don't be fearful of that, because the chip hardly gets hot. Running apps like Chrome, anything like Mail, anything at all is super fast. I was shocked. Running Photoshop on here with the M1 compatibility works super nicely as well. And I was shocked that I would feel no heat. Whereas when I was using my old 15-inch top-of-the-line MacBook Pro 60, the big one, it would be frying my legs. My main app of choice is Adobe Illustrator. I use that a lot. I also use another app called Glyphs Mini because I do a lot of font designing when I'm home. And I found that it never gets hot. It doesn't matter what I put on Adobe Illustrator or do. For logo design, it never gets hot and it's instant. This is something that I wish my old MacBook had because this has just made it a lot better. Now, the way that these apps run is through an emulating software called Rosetta. That's what Apple calls it. Basically, Intel-based apps run on Intel processors, but in a way to get those Intel apps to work on the MacBook M1, they have to emulate it through Rosetta. So that means that you still can use Intel-based apps, which most of the Adobe software is. So although Adobe Illustrator, my main app choice, is not on M1 Mac Silicon, not natively, it still runs super well with the emulation. Now, Adobe have released a beta version of Photoshop with M1 Mac compatibility, so it means it's native, and I've got both Photoshops on here, and the loading time to Photoshop, when I've just clicked it, is ridiculously fast. There, done, open. It's super fast. It works just as fast, if not probably even faster than this 27-inch iMac I spent so much money on. Although my iMac can do more and it is generally more powerful, the Geekbench scores, which I'm going to refuse to tell you because you can find them online, are incredible for this. Now this is only the baseline MacBook Pro, and I was scared to get the baseline one. I wanted one with 16 gigs of RAM. But the way that Apple are using the RAM is so efficient with this new M1 processor, it makes no difference when I'm using the apps that I use. So we've talked about the design, we've talked about the fact that it runs apps really fast. Now, depending on the apps that you use, if you use Affinity apps, which a lot of you designers and creatives do, then they've got M1 Mac compatibility, so it's native, they're gonna work really well. If you use Vectornator, it's gonna run really well, and all the Adobe ones work fine as well. What's interesting is they're releasing a beta of Premiere native to M1, so when I get my hands on that, I will let you know if it is ridiculously fast, because we do a lot of video editing as well. The main thing for a designer is reliability, and that's why I go for Mac. And also now why I would recommend the Mac for anyone wanting a very decent computer for their design work for a lower price. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, Macs aren't known for being, cheap or good for the price. You can make your own computer for less money. They're quite expensive for what they are. And I guess that is true. But when you see the power in this MacBook, I think your perception will change. This MacBook cost me £1,200 in dollars. That's probably $1,700, but it will change depending on where you are because Apple charges through the teeth. But for me, that is very cheap for a laptop that works for work. It's good for designing on. And the power that I get out of that, I would normally spend an extra $1,000 or $2,000 on in a laptop just to get that power. Now, the main way I use the Mac M1 is not like this. I normally hook it up to an external monitor. I like to use my 4K monitor with my keyboard and mouse, and it works super well. It works in 60 Hertz, which is always nice, and it uses the USB-C functionality, which is basically just a Thunderbolt port. I love it how it just feels fast, and anything that I do is super responsive. If I shut it down and I wake it back up, it's instantaneous in waking back up, so it's in standby forever. Battery life, you've probably heard about battery life everywhere online. It is really good. It is shockingly and surprisingly good. I can go for a few days not even charging it. And that means that when I'm traveling or whatever, when the whole lockdown has ended, when I'm going to different countries, I don't have to worry. I can work for extended periods of time on a plane doing my work, however intensive it is, knowing that one, my leg's not going to be cooked, and two, I won't have to go to a power outlet somewhere in a coffee shop before I go to the hotel to charge it up. Just before I move on to the next point, I just want to thank the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. Do you need a website? Well, most likely you do. And if you already have a website, does it work? Is it easy to maintain, and is it affordable? Well, I've been using Squarespace for over 7 years now as my personal design portfolio, a place where I write my blog posts, my online store is on there, and it's where my clients can come to contact me for the first time. Squarespace has thousands of beautiful templates that are fully customizable, so you can make your website truly your own. So many domains that you can use. You can literally buy a domain on there. Super easy, none of this web stuff that you have to put in. I'm not a web designer or developer. If you'd like to try Squarespace for free and design your website for completely free, go ahead and click the link down below, and then when you make your first purchase, get 10% off. Go for it. Click the link down below. So a lot of you guys must be thinking, oh, it must be spinning that fan pretty fast to keep it cool. But it doesn't. I will be honest, I've never heard the fan spinning. So I'm probably not using the MacBook Pro to its fullest power potential. And that's great, because that means the ceiling of power has just increased dramatically. Whereas on my old laptop, on my old MacBook M1, or any competing laptop right now, the fan instantly is on and it will just stay on. And it's annoying. Jordan's just pointing towards his editing laptop over there. So don't worry about whether you'll hear the fan, because when you hear the fan, it's for a good reason. It's doing something good for you. 99% of the time, if you're doing what I'm doing, little asterisk there, then you won't hear the fan. So if you're thinking about going for the MacBook Air, that's probably a really strong choice as well. You know how you use the iPad and use Procreate and dozens of apps and you wonder why it doesn't get hot? It's the same feeling. It's so powerful, yet doesn't get hot. Freaks me out. There's so many things that I could talk about with this MacBook, and I might sound biased, but in reality, I guess I am. I use both Mac and PC. I like them both, but for work, Mac is always the one for me. So if you're wanting a recommendation from me as a designer, someone who's got all of the different devices and trying to be non-biased as possible, then I would seriously recommend looking into getting the Mac Mini if you're wanting a desktop setup, which is ridiculously cheap for the power you get out. So many people are using it. I think it's one of the most popular computers now in China because of its price to performance. It is just out competing everyone at the minute. Overall, the MacBook M1 is pointing towards a direction where Apple are going, which is ultimate power and efficiency. I'm really excited because it means that app developers are going to have an easier time and better time making powerful apps. And for designers, that only means one thing. It means that our lives will become easier and the ability to create becomes more apparent. If you're looking for a laptop, I would seriously recommend this over anything else right now, unless you love PC, which is totally understandable because this does not run Boot Camp. That's one problem. There you go. I've given you one problem with this. It doesn't run Boot Camp. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to hit that red subscribe button. We post content about 2 or 3 times a week. We also do live streams as well. And I talk a lot about design, the business of design, how to create logos, and my sort of journey as a logo designer. And if this video wasn't enough and you want to see another one, there's one right here. Go click on it. I'm super excited to know what you think of this one. Let me know in the comments if you've watched to the end of the video by saying lemon, and I will see you in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.